So success on Amazon comes in a lot of different factors. It really depends on what your goals for Amazon are, what you're trying to sell on there, what type of seller are you? Are you a reseller? Are you a private label? But the main key factor that I see with the sellers that are most successful on Amazon, and this is across the board, is that they're using a system to be able to track, manage, and better automate all of the things that you're required to do when you are an Amazon seller. Really, the biggest hurdle is just knowing all of the different avenues that you can sell on Amazon and how to best leverage them based on the products that you're selling and the audience you'd like to target. You have FBA. If you don't have your own warehouses and you want to leverage their fulfillment, if you do expand into other different channels, Amazon offers multi-channel fulfillment. If you have inventory in that FBA warehouse and you'd like to have those orders from your Shopify or your WooCommerce or any of the other marketplaces that you have integrated, fulfilled through that inventory or from that warehouse, it's all something that they have available. Amazon Business is a fantastic opportunity for a lot of our customers that we work with, that they just don't realize that you can sell in bulk to, say, stores or shops or businesses that are shopping on Amazon looking to buy in bulk for getting special pricing, or even the larger bids on orders from even bigger customers that might be buying wholesale off Amazon that would be directed to you for that. I have a lot of customers that aren't just selling on one Amazon account. They have multiple Amazon accounts. They're cross-selling products across those different Amazon accounts. It becomes more complex. A lot of customers as well. Amazon might be a great starting point, but there's only so much that you can get from Amazon. And now you want to expand into other different channels. You open up a website like a Shopify. You're selling in two different places that same product. You have to make sure that it is synchronized and it is updated. So if you're selling a bunch on Amazon, you're not overselling in one other place, but if you're selling on 4 or 5 other channels, Amazon is also being updated in real time. In Sellercloud, we call it a shadow SKU, whereas I can have alternate listing profiles. As an example, I've got customers that sell in US, but they sell in Canada and Mexico. So they want to have a different price or different bullet points and descriptions that are tied to that specific target audience. But at the end of the day, I own the inventory in my US warehouse. So I need to make sure that when I'm sending inventory to ASIN 1, 2, and 3, that it is synchronized properly to that master SKU inside of my IMS or OMS platform. It is just a very unique approach that a lot of our customers use to what we call expand the digital footprint. Having more product offerings available is going to make it easier for your customers to find one of your listings and buy from you. Well, first off, understanding your products and how your customers are buying from you is the very first step. Shadows are one example of expanding your digital footprint. Another example are kits and bundles, where I'm selling multi-packs. And another example, even further than that, we offer the ability to create and manage variation listings. I've got customers who create variation listings of kits, where I sell the 1-pack, the 3-pack, the 5-pack, and the 10-pack all together on the same listing. And the more listings, the more chances that you're going to show up when somebody looks up a keyword and starts scrolling through Amazon to find the product that best suits their needs. So as you expand your digital footprint, that's where, again, truth be told, an IMS is going to come into play. And it's the biggest problem our customers face is melding sales and operations, how I like to sell it versus how I actually fulfill it and what's inside of my warehouse. So an IMS like Sellercloud and Finale, when you're dealing with kits and bundles, I have the SKU that I'm selling. As most of our customers on Amazon know, I have an ASIN that I sell. That ASIN to me is built of multiple different products. That backend system, when that order comes through, breaks up that individual SKU into the bill of materials, what is actually composed of. So 2 things can happen. inventory is reserved properly and then updated back to all of these other kits and bundles that are being sold. If I sell a 5-pack and I need to pick 5 units, I've got to also update the 1 and the 3-pack that there's less for sale, so I'm not overselling. And these are complex problems our customers face on a daily basis, especially when they don't have an IMS and they're trying to manage or allocate this type of inventory, specifically using spreadsheets or through a manual process. Unfortunately, when you're using spreadsheets to try to track inventory and where you're updating back to the marketplaces, underselling and overselling become big issues. You can only personally track and check and do so many calculations manually as orders are coming in one channel, not so bad. 2-3 channels, now it's getting a lot more complex. A lot of our customers end up picking and choosing or either focusing on one channel and pushing aside what really is the biggest opportunity, and that's going multi-channel or omni-channel with the e-commerce platforms. I work with a customer, and they specifically sell air filters. One of their biggest issues was making sure that inventory was properly being shown available on Amazon. They also sell on multiple other different channels, and they also sell on multiple different countries. So they have multiple Amazon accounts. Knowing how much inventory they actually had was their biggest problem. At the end of the day, they couldn't meet their full potential because they didn't know what they should be buying, because they couldn't track what they currently had. And by not knowing what they had, they weren't able to sell everything that was available on the channels. Once all of that was organized and automated, they saw an increase of about 100% in just the first month of using our system. And now they have seen a 300% to 400% increase on the daily order volumes just by making sure that that spread of inventory that they do have in their warehouse is available on all of the possible channels that they sell. H Group, they're a customer of ours. They're right in New York. When he came to me, he was doing wholesale. He needed an IMS system because they were doing a ton of wholesale orders, but the benefit was he set everything up with Sellercloud with the wholesale. He saw that he could also sell on Amazon and Walmart fairly easily and make sure that everything wholesale, Walmart, Amazon, his website were all commingled properly and synchronized properly. And he ended up, I think, doing 10,000 orders a month wholesale, and he's doing about 40,000 extra now just with the e-commerce channels. He had enough time to refocus, start getting on the channels, and saw a huge increase in the amount that he was able to sell because he had a wider spread, a larger digital footprint for these customers. Success on Amazon, there is 100 different ways to do it. The key factor is having a system that is going to be able to organize, manage, and maintain all of those operations and automate it so that you can focus on doing what you need to do. Instead of manually updating everything with spreadsheets, you're focusing on doing the study and the research on growth. Instead of waiting until it's too late and you are so far deep dug in this hole that it almost seems like you can't see the light out of the end of the tunnel, having conversation sooner than later. It doesn't cost anything to just speak to a consultant and see what the options are. And as long as you have those cards in your hand, you can always play them later on. But it's better to start now if you are thinking that this is what you're going to want to grow into later.